Hello, my name is Marcia Johnson and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Together with my grandnieces and nephew, Allie, Ashley, and Ryan, we are Marcia's Crafts. Today we're going to make this lovely Is the Day card right here. I'll show you the inside and I'll show you what I needed to make it or what you would need to make it. You need the lovely Is the Day stamp set. I also use the stitch shaped framelits. Oh, there's a dimensional. Just that one. And the layering ovals framelits, just the biggest one. For ink, Memento, Tuxedo Black, Rococo Rose. This is becoming one of my favorites. Pear Pizzazz. And soft suede. Okay, let's get started. We'll be using a pierce mat covered with paper because this is a photopolymer stamp. Let me pull out the layers or the things we need to stamp or do something to. There's that one. And these. The dimensions of everything and the materials required will be listed below as usual. And if you would like to purchase any of these products, please do so at marciascrafts.stampinup.net. That would be very nice. Okay, let's get stamping. First, we're going to use the Memento Tuxedo Black. And I'm going to stamp my sentiment on this piece of very vanilla cardstock. Remember, as always, when you're using a cloth pad to kind of wiggle it as well as pounce it. Otherwise, you really don't get a very good image. I say that every time because I very often forget. Okay, so let's stamp this right about. Nice. Okay, that's all for the Memento. Okay, next we'll use some soft suede and we'll bring in the flower stamp. Ink that up. And we're going to stamp over our sentiment, and I'm going to try to go just above the lovely and pretty much straight down. Okay, we'll set that aside for a minute. Next, we'll bring in the inside of our card, and since our card is a landscape, I'm going to stamp down in the right-hand corner, right about there. Okay, then here's our envelope, and I'm going to stamp down in the left-hand corner, and I'm just going to try and get the flower without these two extra leaves there. So let's see how well I do. I could wipe it off, but that's pretty good. Okay, next I'm going to bring in some Pear Pizzazz, and we're going to fill in those leaves. On my example card, I stamped off, but I think I'm going to use it full strength this time. So here's our leaf stamp. I'll bring in this and try to line it up. It's a little tough when you can't get your head way in there, but I'll do my best. It's pretty forgiving. Yeah, good enough. Then the inside of our card. Okay, and our front image. Okay, it doesn't really matter. It's not perfect, but it's good enough. Then I'm going to take this little tiny image and we're going to stamp that into the center of our card, of our flowers, using Rococo Rose. You know, I might grab my Stampin' marker and fix that a little bit. Just a second. Okay, that's that. We're going to be using that Rococo Rose again in a minute, but let me just grab my Stampin' marker. Might actually be easier to color these in with the marker as opposed to this stamp. Let's see, especially if you're trying to do it with a camera in your head. Looks like I need to refill this marker too. Okay, well, that's better. All right, next we're going to take our Sahara Sand piece. I'm going to take this large flowery image and I'm just going to stamp all over it. I'm using it as my background and it was a little too plain, so I thought I'll do something to spruce it up, and this is what I decided to do. If you watch my videos, you know I really do like to kind of make my own DSP sometimes. Well, a lot of the time. And there's a little space here I'd like to put something in, and maybe one there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pretty much wipe this off and just ink up a tiny portion of the stamp. And maybe go right there. And do that again. Oh, actually, I don't mind that. That's good enough. Okay, so we're done with our stamping. We have a little bit of die cutting to do. So take this piece and this piece, and using the largest of the stitch shape framelits, we will cut out this one, just about like that. And using the largest of the scalloped ovals, we'll cut out this one. And of course, I've already done that. So let me get out my pieces to assemble. Here's our envelope. We can lay that to the side, and let's take our inside and go ahead and put that in. If you hear some snoring, that's my Romeo. He is really sawing logs today. It's such a tough life. Got a little glue there. I'll take that off with one of these glue erasers later after it dries. Okay, for the front, we're going to go ahead and put on our soft suede layer. Okay, we'll set that aside for a minute, and we'll bring in our Sahara Sand layer and our focal image. That's what happens when you don't remember to rub the ink as well as just pounce it. So I say it often because I know it and I still forget. It's kind of like using the Stampin' Pierce mat with photopolymer stamps. I know I should, but sometimes I just forget. Or using the embossing buddy before you emboss. Okay. Then we're going to take this lovely scallop linen ribbon, and I'm going to put some snail on the back. This is kind of a wrinkly, it's beautiful, but it's a little bit hard to get to lay down. So I just put some snail on the back, and that takes care of it. Put it up about here and straight across. And I still flip it and put some tape on the back. And then I take a little piece, a little short piece of this ribbon, and I'm going to lay it on top of the other. I'm going to take a little bit of our linen thread. I actually should have done this before, but oh well. Where's my scissors? There it is. I'm going to stick this under, and I'm actually going to wrap it around. So this would have been smart to do before, but I forgot this time. You're going to pull that really tight and tie it in a knot. So you can see how much smarter it would have been to do this before I put it down, but I forgot. There we go. And tie it really tight. And I want this to kind of pop up. Okay, next we're going to mount that to our card base. You could pop this up on dimensionals, but I'm going to pop my image up, so I think between that and the ribbon we have enough dimension. Now we're going to take our focal image and put some dimensionals on the back. And we're going to put the rest on the kind of on the top half, because we don't want dimensionals where that ribbon is, because it's a fairly thick ribbon. Okay, we'll mount that a little bit in from the side, right about there. Then I'm going to trim my little bow, and I'm going to take a bow that I've already made. I am very bow challenged, but I've made it on this little bow jig thing. You can buy this on Amazon, and it makes pretty much perfect bows every time. And I made a little triple bow with that linen thread. I'm going to take a glue dot and scrunch it up and put it behind that, right behind that little knot. Then I'm going to stick it on top of that other knot. And I think that makes a cute little bow. I'll go ahead and trim my little ends here. There. And then to finish off the card, I'm going to take some pearls and just add 3 of them. Put one down here, one up here, and one over here. Okay, that's our card for today. Here's the one I did before. This is stamped off, so you can see the difference, and maybe you like it better with the stamped off look. I don't know, I like both of them. Anyway, that's it. I hope you enjoyed watching us make these cards, and hope you have a great day. See you when we see you next time. Bye-bye.